Good morning, planet Earth.
Right?
We are taking a look at the blue moon, the blue blood moon, and a total lunar eclipse. We are about 20 minutes away from totality.
And I said it on Facebook, Emily Sutton coverage of the eclipse is eclipsing the eclipse itself.
Indeed it is, Emily. A lot of questions out there on Facebook and otherwise about why it's not orange yet. So fill us in on when the moon is going to get to be a blood moon and turn orange.
Yes, good question, because right now it is a super moon and it's a blue moon, but it doesn't become a blood moon until totality, which is 21 minutes away right now. Here we go, getting pumped. Let's take a look at NASA's live shot. I love it because it's high resolution, and look at how much is covered now, only a little sliver. It's turning into what I think is the Cheshire Cat smile. So there you go. All right, hey, so here's the latest. It's technically a partial eclipse right now. Totality begins at 6:52 a.m. And NASA advises the best way to look at it is to get a clear view of the western horizon and go high up if you can. I would love to see some shots from the Devon Tower, maybe. Any people up in there? You get a nice view of it.
And Emily Sutton is following our blue blood moon from outside. We are about 15 minutes away from totality. Em and the moon are both joining us now live. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Allie and Kent. I'm live outside K4 Studios. Couldn't miss this event. And I'm just thinking it was only 5 months ago that we had the total solar eclipse, the Great American Eclipse. And what we're at right now, the partial eclipse, I would estimate at about 85%, which is what we had with the solar eclipse just 5 months ago. The cool thing about today, though, we are going to see totality in Oklahoma, and like you said, it's about 15 minutes away. What's so significant about this and why it's so rare is you have 3 astronomical phenomena happening at the same time. It's a super moon, it's a blue moon, which rarely happens, only every 2.5 years, and it's also a total lunar eclipse when the moon passes within the Earth's shadow and it lines up perfectly. A lot of people asking when we'll see that reddish hue. It's going to happen at totality. It's already starting to get a little bit of the hue a little bit as it gets closer and closer to totality, and that's due to the scattering of the sun's light. So unlike the solar eclipse, we're going to be able to actually see the entire moon, and it's going to be red. So hopefully you can go out and see this while you can, especially before the sun comes up. You can get a clear shot of it. Ideal viewing conditions right now. We have mostly clear skies. This is the first time in 152 years that America is going to see this rare combination. So make sure you go out and check it for yourself, and make sure to show your kids as well. This is a wonderful learning experiment for any of those kids.
Right, we want to head outside to check in with Emily Sutton, who has been following the super blue blood moon.
Total eclipse, right? Hey, we can kind of look a little red back there behind you, right?
Yeah.
Oh yes, my inner nerd is rejoicing. The first time in 152 years in America that we are seeing this rare phenomenon. Check it out, right over my shoulder, reddish hue. You can see it with your own eyes. In fact, I recommend in the next 15 minutes doing it because the sun's going to start to come up sooner than later, and right now it's very easy to see. We have perfect viewing conditions. This happens when the moon passes into the Earth's shadow, and the sun scatters the light and makes it red, and that's where the term blood moon comes from. Looks very eerie, but doesn't really mean anything except a total lunar eclipse. And it's also a super moon, so it's easier to see because it's 14%, appears 14% bigger and 30% brighter than a normal full moon. And it's also a blue moon, so this is the second full moon in 1 month, which doesn't happen very often. So the fact that all these are happening at once, very rare. And it's so neat that we had the Great American Eclipse happen where we saw 85% of totality just 5 months ago, and now we're seeing totality of a lunar eclipse with all the other cool things happening at the same time right here in Oklahoma. And we lucked out because the East Coast is only seeing partial eclipse, and the West Coast, they get to see a little bit more than us. So after this newscast, run out and see it with your own eyes. Allie and Kent?